Well, we have, for the discerning tastes of my viewers today, a brand new knife, and I've only done a review on one other Miguron knife. That was one I'm going to show you in a little bit, a very heavy duty, very heavyweight Tonto. But this one is called the Velona. It is new and purchased from White Mountain Knives for about $54 less my usual discount of old sword. And I think there's still some out there available. This comes in two versions that I've found. This is kind of a tan gray G10 handle with a satin finish blade, and the other one is all blacked out. Black handle, black blade, and has a kind of a gold liner that a lot of people don't care for. This one, however, is silver, so kind of goes with the blade, doesn't jump out at you too much. And how about that blade? We've got a single grind spear point blade of, would you believe, 4.22 inches, and we're going to check that all in a moment, with an overall length of 9 inches. This is not a small knife. This is a large budget offering, but they give you a crown spine. How cool is that? And a beautiful fuller that allows you to finger flick it open, lanyard hole, and a jimped liner release, and drop shut. That's such a big knife, we need more room. Let's back up. Look at that. Amazing. Well done for the money. This is right in there with the best of best tech in this same price range, in my estimation. It does get fancy for the money with a titanium clip. And I do believe that's titanium. Yep, those were just the screws. So interesting that not too many titanium clips are deep carry, so it's kind of hard to go deep carry, which would be nice on this knife, but then they'd have to give you a folded over steel clip at this price point. So this does kind of class it up a little bit, although not going to allow you to put it deep down in your pocket. And it doesn't switch to the other side, unfortunately, lefties. I'm a lefty who's adapted. A lot of you complain that some knives are not set up for left-handed use. I get that. I've been carrying in the right pocket since I can remember, because way back when there was not an option. Everything was right-handed. Today we're starting to see some change to that, with companies like Civivi and others offering clips on almost every knife that switch from the right side to the left side. So, this is the Miguron Velona. It's a new release from Miguron in kind of a budget line. Many of their other knives have been sort of in the mid-tier $150 to $200 range, and maybe even a little more than that. But let's review the statistics here. We do have a 9-inch overall knife, and we do have a blade of 4.22 inches. And we got a cutting edge of 4.22 inches in my guesstimation. And we have a handle thickness of 0.57. Feels thinner than that. And I'm going to grab it right. Let's make sure that I am. Alright, that's a solid grab. 3.8 millimeter. Nice heavy stock. And they carry it well out to that point. Look at that. Beautiful grind, as I said. Flat grind, high grind. And seems to come through with a keen edge. Getting away from paper cutting, you know. Most knives, if you're skilled enough, you can use the factory edge to cut paper with. Some are better than others. I find particularly Spyderco and, of all things, Tucson, as kind of an off-brand, if you will, come very, very sharp. Not just sharp, but very sharp. I love the bearing action on this knife right out of the box. And there's the finger flick. Look at that. We haven't weighed it, so while I can still put stats up on the screen, let's do that. Not real light, but 4.88. Not bad. Under 5 ounces. You feel in some knives a little more dead weight than others. I don't know what it is. Could be when the blade's folded, it's, you know, a heavier thickness blade. But we do have weight relieving on the handle quite a bit, and about as much as they could put on both sides of the knife. I can get the trusty flashlight out of the pocket. Yeah, we're going to light it up for you. Look at that. So, yep, it's a 9-inch long knife, but light for its size. So we're over 4 inches, and I know that's going to be a concern in some jurisdictions, that you're over the limit by quite a bit. State that I'm in has to be under 4 sharpened inches. This is over 4 sharpened inches, so legally I wouldn't be carrying it out in the street. Jimping here is somewhat smooth, doesn't really grab you very much. Sort of smoothed over jimping that's in the frame. That's actually rougher there because they're cutting into the G10, and the G10's got a sharper shoulder than the liners do. As I said, this does come in an all blacked out version. And let's take a look at this next to another Miguron, and I may need to pause the video a second so I get the name right on this guy. Yes, so this is the Miguron Prayer. Look at that guy. Did a review on this. This is a beast. This is like 6-7 ounces. Massive blade. This one's S35VN. Titanium handle. Whole different category of knife. Also very drop shut. Comes in a fancy pouch, as you would expect a knife of around $170, $180 to be. But let's talk about the steel on this Velona. This is a new steel for me, and this is coming in something called DC53. Now, looking at Knife Steel Composition app, the notes say, quite a tough steel, as per the manufacturer, almost twice the toughness, better wear resistance, and smaller carbide size compared to D2, and is capable of 62 to 64 HRC working hardness. And it's very similar to Böhler Uddeholm Sleipner steel. And you've probably heard of that because Lion Steel does a lot of their folders in that steel lately. But this has slightly more carbon and less MO, is that molybdenum? And vanadium. And follow the link for more info. You can pull that up. Here's the, if you want to do a screenshot of that. Will that work? All right. Whatever. So, a new steel for me, as I said, DC53 is kind of like a super steel D2. I'm not sure of the corrosion resistance, rust resistance, what have you, but do a little research on it. There's a very beautiful Miguron logo. Really liking that. And they've come out with one or two other budget offerings right about the same time. If you do a search for Miguron on White Mountain Knives, and I'll probably put a link in the description, you will see more Miguron knives. Let's do a quick compare. Trusty old Griptilian certainly dwarfs the Griptilian. How about that giant of a knife that we usually compare, the Rat 1? I think the Rat 1's going to be a bit humbled. Same size handle, shorter blade. For perspective, that is a little more accurate. So a budget large knife, I like those when I can get them. It's one of the things that motivated me when I checked out these new Migurons on White Mountain. Just really coming in, you know, $55 or so with this length blade with a really nice satin finish, which I like. Although I'm not adverse to blacked out blades, I kind of like to see the steel. Let's see that drop shot one more time. Oh boy. So I think that's about it for the Miguron Velona. Check them out. And got one more Miguron new release coming in. Should have that out in a day or two. In the meantime, be well, be safe, and don't forget to subscribe and like the vid. See you soon.